A collective bombshell was dropped on all of Attack on Titan's fans when Zeke announced to Eren that not only does Ymir follow him and not Eren, but as well that he broke these earthen chains that were the vow to renounce war. But it seems some of you are confused as to how the Wonder Boy actually did it. Well, in today's video, I am excited to explain exactly how Zeke broke the vow to renounce war, spoiler free of course, and what this means for Attack on Titan as we know it. Let's get into the video. So to better understand what went down, let's lay some groundwork. What exactly happened for Eren and Zeke to get to the path? Well, essentially when Gabby shot Eren's head off, Zeke caught his head just seconds before he expired. What this means is that indeed, Zeke and Eren were able to touch and activate the power of the Founding Titan through what is essentially sheer luck. There, they arrive at what is simply called the Path, which is where all of those with royal blood who have inherited the power of the Founding Titan came after using its power. Zeke is able to come along as, much like in a dance, in the world of Titans, it takes two to tango. In the Path, what happens in the blink of an eye is literally thousands of years for anyone within it. Then, the most important figure in all of Attack on Titan. They are introduced to the founder, the little girl simply known as Ymir. What's interesting about her outside of her being the first Titan is that Ymir is the one to rebuild all of the Titan shifters' bodies. So when Peak got her arm cut off by Porco earlier in this season, or any of the times that the Titan shifters lost a limb or were injured, Ymir physically rebuilt their bodies in the Path using the soil there. This makes sense because in the Path, a split second is thousands of years. So the quickness of their regeneration is perfectly explained through that phenomenon. As for the chains that hold Zeke down, these are the earthen chains that represent the vow to renounce war. If you're unfamiliar or just forgot, I have a whole recap of Final Season Part 1 here in the cards, but to give you the gist of what this is, the vow to renounce war is a deal brokered between the Marleyan Empire and King Fritz when he went to Paradis Island to escape Marley and live out the rest of his years in peace. Under this new deal, they were not allowed to take the power of the Founding Titan back, lest they unleash the sheer might of the Rumbling, which would flatten Marley's empire with hundreds, if not thousands, of wall-dwelling colossal titans. How this works in the Path is that any participant in the Founding Titan's ability is chained to the soil. This leads to Eren revealing that he all along was just going with Zeke's plan to essentially fool him. Armin and the others were right. Eren has the final say in who uses the power of the Founding Titan, so all Eren had to do was go along with Zeke's plan. In other words, he used Zeke's MO of doing the same thing to Marley by pretending to be on their side. Eren double-crossed Zeke. Or to put it in wrestling terms, Zeke screwed Zeke. Now here is the tricky part, and if you get confused here, then don't worry, I'll do my best to explain it thoroughly. I as well was kind of confused when I first saw this. So when Eren announces to Zeke that he's not going to go along with Zeke's euthanasia plan, he goes to ask Ymir for her power. Surprisingly, what happens next is the bombshell I mentioned earlier. Ymir gives Eren the cold shoulder and walks to Zeke. In a twist of the century, maybe a couple hundred in this case, it's revealed that Zeke has learned how to nullify the vow to renounce war. But how could this be? Well, it's a little complicated, but due to Zeke being untainted by the ideologies of King Fritz, when being transported into the Path through a sheer amount of time, he was able to figure out a way to essentially just break the vow to renounce war. A better way to think of this is like a key to starting a vehicle. Eren is that metaphorical key, which in turn activates the vehicle. The driver is Zeke and the car is Ymir, and through thousands of years, Zeke was able to essentially build the road that the car drives on. While yes, visualizing that is dumb, it is an accurate metaphor for what Zeke did here. As for why Zeke waited for Eren to ask Ymir, it's very simple. Zeke already knew Eren couldn't use Ymir to activate the founding Titan's power in the path, so he simply made sure that Eren was on his side. It's actually brilliant. Zeke didn't have to do anything, as it was assumed Eren had the final say-so in this all along. How could anyone expect Zeke, being unbrainwashable and untainted by King Fritz's ideologies, combined with thousands of years of time within the hallowed seas of sand of the path, could lead to such an inconceivable outcome? That assumption is exactly why Zeke just waited for Eren to do it himself, as it shows his true colors either way. TLDR here, Zeke's already won, so he's making sure Eren is on his side before going any further with the plan, because do remember, when they get out of the path, there is a guarantee that all of the Titan shifters are still alive, and will still wage war until they're dead. What Zeke vows to do next is to save Eren from what he perceives as brainwashing. What I find interesting is that he even states that he saw Saver as more of a father than Grisha himself. This puts into perspective just how bad of a father Grisha was to Zeke, as well how Saver saved Zeke from being brainwashed, which in turn let him break the vows of renouncing war. It's also important to remember as well that Zeke is unlike any other Titan shifter in history. He's the only Titan where he knows so many things that nobody else does. Not even Marley knows about the origin and the secrets of the Titans, and this is because of Saver, the previous Beast Titan's expansive research of the Titans and how they work. What Zeke's plans are beyond that are pretty much unknown, and rightfully so, because that's like something the next episode will probably reveal in full detail. If you haven't, drop a like on the video. As well, check out my video on how Gabby Braun redeemed herself, or my previous Attack on Titan videos. Thanks for watching, bye-bye.